Hi and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell so you're notified every single time that I post. I literally post like, I think it's 3 times a week. Don't even know my own schedule. But yeah, I post around 3 times a week and I always try to get one true crime video out there. Today's video is a little different. I have spoke about these sort of topics on my channel before and I really don't mind talking about these topics. I'm quite open to anything on my channel, especially when I've got a personal experience that could possibly help someone else going through the same thing. I don't mind sharing it at all. I'm very comfortable, so if you do have any questions that you want to ask me, please let me know down below and I'll try my best to answer them as honestly as possible. But as you can tell from the title and the thumbnail, today we're going to talk about anxiety because it is something that I suffer with day in and day out, and I have a lot of people who ask me how do I deal with that, what's the best tips for dealing with anxiety, things like that. So I thought I'd compile it into one video just so I can tell you my top tips and ways of dealing with anxiety. So on Facebook, I'm part of a group that I am admin of, and there's around 2,000 people who go in there for advice, and I try to give them my best advice around mental health. They have a lot of questions for me in regards to mental health, so I thought I'd start with the topic anxiety, as that seems to be what people most struggle with, and hopefully I can help a few of them people out with this video as well. So, as everybody knows, anxiety is different for every single person, but mainly I've struggled with anxiety since having my son. That's when things have been extremely bad. The sort of things that happen is I get extreme sort of thoughts, and that does sound a little scary, but it's more thoughts of protecting others rather than harming others. I get the shakes, I get sweaty, I fidget, I physically can't sit still, I bite my nails, I bite the skin on my hands. I do some really crazy things when I'm suffering badly with anxiety. Just want to interrupt here and say, if you hear my son or my partner, it's because he's trying to entertain him at the moment in the living room and the walls aren't the thickest, so you can kind of hear everything. But please just ignore that. If you've been here for a while, you know that that sometimes happens. So yeah, my anxiety affects me in the ways that I've just talked about. There is some other things that I get, like paranoia. I get really scared that somebody's watching me, and that is an occasional thing. If I'm in an uncomfortable situation, I will get paranoid and scared that somebody's watching me and trying to get me, and then I get the thoughts of protecting people who I love. And at the moment I am on medication, and I have been since my son was around 6 weeks old. I'm really glad that I am on medication because it does help a great deal. And that takes me into my first tip that I have for people. If you get any signs of anxiety, no matter how little, no matter how small or how big the problem may be, seek professional advice, because if it's possible they can give you medication. Medication, once you find the right one, can literally work wonders for you. It helps a lot. So seeking medical help is definitely the first step to take. Please don't feel ashamed or like you failed, or don't feel like your problem is not big enough to go to the GP and get some help. They are so willing to help people these days. Sometimes some doctor's surgeries you may have to push, and I understand that that can be downhearting and upsetting, having to push and push and push to get yourself some help, but going to the GP literally opens up a load of resources. And again, that takes me on to my next one. So if you have been attending your GP in regards to your mental health, they can get you set up with therapists, they can get you set up with CBT courses. Now CBT is cognitive behavioural therapy, which is a kind of therapy that can be done with somebody, talking to them face to face, or it can be done online, and it's basically changing your mind's behaviour so it can work with a lot of mental health issues, especially anxiety, because that is a behaviour that somebody adapts over time. Like myself, the paranoia, things like protecting others, getting them thoughts, I need to battle the behaviour behind that, and then that'll help battle the anxiety. So by going to the doctors and getting them courses and getting the CBT and therapy and things like that are really, really helpful. So I do highly recommend that. The next thing that I find helps with anxiety is keeping myself busy, because if I'm able to sit and think about situations, then I will overthink things, overanalyze things, and that is when my anxiety starts to creep up. So doing things like adult colouring books, I know Kendall Ray here on YouTube has got some really good colouring books, so I will try and link some of them down below. I think they're sold on Amazon, but you can get any types of colouring books and colouring and using something as a hobby to take up your time. Start a new hobby, things like that. Like with me, I started YouTube at the beginning of this year, and it's weird to see how my confidence levels, how my levels in just socialising and things like that have literally gone from like 0 to like 10. It has helped so much having this YouTube channel, and you don't understand how much you lot mean to me as well, knowing that you are watching my video. I have literally put my heart and soul into this channel, but in a way it benefits me because it's keeping my mind busy from the other things going on in my life. It's keeping my mind off the anxiety, off the depression, off the feeling low. It really, really helps. So getting a hobby may just help you as well. Now the next thing that I find helps me with anxiety is fresh air and walking and being out in the open. I prefer being in an open space a lot more to being in a closed space. So rather than going shopping in Tesco's, I would much rather be walking. I advise people to go on walks, take pictures of your surroundings. Maybe that can turn into a hobby. Just taking the fresh air, and it really does help. And also being out in the fresh air in the daytime strangely helps you sleep better at night, because I find I struggle to sleep due to the medication that I'm on, but I don't want to take more medication to help me sleep, because I then do not want to wake up for my son because I'm medicated, and then that leads into the whole anxiety because I'm worrying about things like that. So I just want to totally avoid taking tablets in the evening. I don't want to do that. So I think doing things in the day, one, keeping yourself busy, two, going out in the fresh air definitely helps you sleep better at night, because you're using all your energy rather than just sitting there and moping about and thinking about the what ifs. You're not really using much energy, you're just working yourself up. The next tip that I have for anxiety is talking to somebody else who understands your situation. This can be a complete stranger, or it can be a friend that you feel like you can confide in. I found a lot of help with talking to people on the internet, especially Joshua Miles. I came across Joshua Miles when I just started my channel, and we WhatsApp and message each other, and I know he's got his own struggles that he does talk to me about, and I also talk about my struggles to him, and I feel really comfortable doing that. And if I'm having a bad day, or even just a bad few moments where I feel like absolute crap, I will approach him with what's going on, and he will talk to me. Or if he's nothing to say, he will simply just listen, and I am actually grateful for that, because before that I didn't really have that sort of support. This is why the Facebook group that I am admin on really helps a lot as well, because all the people that are struggling with mental health issues have somewhere they can reach out and possibly talk to somebody else who's in the same position as them. So that is really all the tips that I have on anxiety. I'm sorry that it's not a lot, but I don't want to go into tips that I particularly haven't tried before, because then I feel like I can't tell you if it's going to necessarily work because I would have never tried it, but the tips I've mentioned definitely do help most people. I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to help every single one of you if you try all these things, but going to a GP, trying the CBT and the therapy and getting out in the open and having a hobby definitely help. Definitely help. So I just want to take a moment as well to say thank you to everybody who watches my channel. I know I've said it once in this video, but I have hit 300 subscribers, which may seem like such a small number of people to some people, but to someone like me who literally started my channel in January with 0 subscribers, not even one person watching my videos, to now have 300 people subscribed to this little channel is amazing, and it literally makes my heart melt when you all get in touch on social media and tell me things that you want to see, or you're giving me criticism on my videos, which I don't mind, by the way, as long as you're polite about it, and then I can change what it is that you want me to change, which has happened before and I've took that into account. I'm just so grateful to have you all, and I'm so grateful to everybody and all the other YouTubers who have helped me grow, such as It's Joshua Miles, Caitlin Rose. People like that are just amazing. So enough of the soppiness, enough of all that. That is it for this video. It's a really short video. I am so sorry. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe, turn on that bell, and go and check out my social medias, and I shall see you for my next video. Bye.